From the Book of Mysteries by Jonathan Cahn, Day 194, the Shevat, the ceasing of God. It was the end of the week, and the sun was about to set. The teacher and I were sitting on the hill overlooking the school. Many of the students were finishing up their work and their week to get ready for the weekend. As the Sabbath approaches, said the teacher, the observant among the children of Israel must finish up their work. Do you know why? Because it's the Sabbath, I replied. But why is it the Sabbath, he asked. The Sabbath is called the Sabbath, not because of the day, but because of the event, the act of God. As it is written, God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Behind the word rested is a Hebrew word, Shevat. Shevat means to cease. On the seventh day, God ceased. And from the act, from ceasing of God, from his Shevat, comes the word Sabbath, from which we get Sabbath. So the Sabbath is the Sabbath because of the ceasing of God. All its blessings come from God's act of ceasing. But with the fallen, the peace of the Sabbath and the blessings of God were removed from the creation and from our lives. So then, as a new Sabbath is required, he said. But only God can bring a Sabbath, and the Sabbath can only come with a ceasing of God. So for God to bring a new Sabbath, he would have to cease. And the timing of that ceasing would have to be linked to the timing of the Sabbath. It was Friday afternoon, the end of the sixth day, not of creation, but now of redemption. And as in the beginning, the sixth day was the day of completion of God's labors. So the labors of God were completed on the cross. And then on the cross, he ceased. He ceased from his labors and his life, the Shevat, the second ceasing of God. As in the beginning, God ceased, and then came the Sabbath, a new Sabbath, and a new peace, greater than the world, for all who will enter. But how do you enter it? The same way, by ceasing in the ceasing of God. The mission: learn the secret of Shevat. Cease with God from laboring, struggling, and from yourself. Enter the Sabbath, the second Sabbath. Scripture references: Genesis 2, 2 and 3, John 19, 30 and 31, Hebrews 4, 4, Hebrews 4, 9 through 10.